We've seen how you can choose the gradient option for either the full stroke of an object, and then click Edit to create your own gradients. But you can actually also bring in gradients from outside of Inkscape altogether. And the great thing about this is that Inkscape actually uses GIMP gradients, which are called .ggr files, which just stands for GIMP gradient. And if you go over to GIMP and you look at the gradients panel, you can see that there are a whole ton of gradients. These ones right at the bottom are the default gradients in GIMP. And I've actually loaded 130 others that I simply found on the internet. And you can check the GIMP training on how to do that. And if you go to the Edit menu and check Preferences, if you click this Folders option at the bottom, you are going to see an option for gradients. And this gives you two folders. The checked folder is where GIMP is going to save any gradients that you create and save in GIMP. And the second option is where GIMP keeps the gradients that come with GIMP by default. So all of these ones at the bottom, for example, Skyline and all of these come pre-installed with GIMP, and so they're all stored in this folder. And any ones that you create in GIMP are stored here. But in addition to that, you can actually download GIMP gradient files from the internet. And so if you look at my desktop here, I have this folder, 130 Ultimate Web 2.0 Graphics Gradients for GIMP. And if you open this folder, you just see this huge long list of all these .ggr files. And these are all actually GIMP gradients. And I loaded these up into GIMP by simply cutting and pasting them into that GIMP folder for gradients. And all of these ones that you see at the top here are from that folder. Now, in GIMP, you install gradients into the program files of GIMP, and then they're available every time you open GIMP. In Inkscape, it works in a different way. You actually only add gradients to one particular document. So if I want to add some gradients to this document, at the moment, if I click this down pointing arrow, you only get one option because this is the only gradient that we have so far. If I was to go to this folder and just go Control A to select all of these gradients, and then just drag them anywhere into this document window, I can now click this down pointing arrowhead, and suddenly you see that we've got this huge long list of gradients. So that's a pretty amazing feature because this makes it a lot easier to simply just quickly get a gradient right into your image. So if I know that I want a gradient which is just going to be from dark green to a kind of light green, I can very quickly look at these greens and just pick something like this, and then I can maybe just edit one of the color stops. So I can take this color stop and just make it more of a yellow color. And so this is an easy way to work, and also if you've already created a gradient in GIMP, then you can just get that one and work that way. So if, for example, you wanted to load gradients from GIMP, you could go to your computer, C drive, program files, GIMP 2.0, share, GIMP 2.0, and you could just go to gradients. And here we have all these gradients that we see from GIMP itself. And once again, you could simply just click one of these, drag it into this image, and then it's going to be available in this list somewhere along the line. Unfortunately, the names don't come with them, so they are just assigned these numerical names. But even so, it's extremely useful. You are never going to want to drag 130 gradients into one document like I have, because you're obviously never going to use this many. And this is just making it pretty difficult to find a gradient that I need. But just to demonstrate that's how you do it, you can load as many as you want. But the important thing to remember is that these gradients are now only available in this document. If I want them to be available in a new document, then I need to just drag them into that document as well.